the original version of the Comeback Trail, like I said, was never released. And I was at a comic book convention when I was 18 years old. We went from Portchester, you're from White Plains.
Yeah, yeah.
So we jumped on the train. We went down to the city, and we all went to this comic book convention. But I wasn't that into comic books. I just wanted to get out of school, and so I went there. It was in a hotel, like on 54th Street or something. But I went down this hallway, and I heard a 16 millimeter projector rattling. And I opened the door and I looked inside, and there were these 7 or 8 guys. It was like a smoke-filled room. And they were watching a 16 millimeter print of an unfinished movie that I later found out was called The Comeback Trail. And it was with Buster Crabbe and Chuck McCann and Professor Irwin Corey. And they were trying to kill Buster Crabbe for the insurance money. And I thought, this is a terrific idea for a movie. So for years, I kept waiting to see if it was going to come out. It never came out. I kept looking for the rights. And all I knew was that it was done by a guy named Harry Hurwitz. And I could never find anything on Harry. And so years and years go by. I keep looking for the rights. I can't get them. And one time I got asked to on Midnight Run, there was going to be a big screening of it at Phil Rosenthal's house. And a whole bunch of people were there. And I was supposed to introduce the movie. And I go into the theater, and there was a woman there, lovely lady. She comes up to me, and she says, I just wanted you to know that this was my husband's favorite movie. And I said, thank you. What's your name? And she said, my name is Joy Hurwitz. I said, are you any relation to Harry Hurwitz? She said, Harry was my husband. How do you know about Harry? I said, well, he did a movie years ago called The Comeback Trail. And she went, The Comeback Trail? She said, that movie was never released. How do you know about this? I said, I may have seen the only screening of it. I said, in New York, like 40 years, then it was probably 30 years ago. She couldn't believe it. So I said, who owns the rights? She said, I do.
Oh, wow.
Harry left me everything in the will. So I said, wow, well, you might be my new partner. And we shook hands right there.
That's beautiful.